Hi, I'm Phil Constantine. On this edition of Travels with Phil, we're going to the Saint-Gaudens National Historic Site out of Cornish, New Hampshire. The map will show you basically where it is at. And these are the studios and home of a famous sculptor and artist called Augustus Saint-Gauden. And he is well known for several things. We'll get to those in just a second here. I'll show you a couple of pictures of him. This is when he was a younger man working on cameos. These were little things that you wore around your neck, particularly for women. And he's known for his Lincoln sculptures. And this is just one of them. And this is him doing some artwork. And we'll start off with the Lincoln sculptures here. He did standing and sitting versions of Lincoln. This is an old photo here of one of the standing ones. And the next picture you're going to see here is the death mask of Lincoln. No, not a death mask, a living mask that he used to help do his statue. And this is one of them called the Standing Lincoln. And you can see this here at the historical site. The next one here is the seated Lincoln. And this is him seated here. And you can just see basically it's Lincoln. And then another bust outside in the gardens. Now they do several of these. Let me show you a video.
All right, we are at the Saint-Gaudens, August Saint-Gaudens historical site. See in the distance up there, where the man's walking in front of it there, that's a sculpture of Lincoln that was originally placed, the original sculpture, the first one was placed in Chicago. And now they've recast it and they're going to unveil it here. So there's a lot of hubbub planning, etc. Because tomorrow is when they're going to do the unveiling of the copy that's going to be done left here. So if you've seen the one in Chicago, this is an exact duplicate here in New Hampshire.
And his starting sculpture, the one that really got him going, was a commissioned work of Farragut. And this is one of the copies of it out in the fields. Here's the video.
Saint-Gaudens' first major work is this one, David Farragut, as in Damn the Torpedoes, Full Speed Ahead. This is a recast. The original one is in New York City. And that's really tall. These are full people-size seats here.
Oh, the sounds really reflect my footsteps.
Is, some classical type work. And then this here is very realistic. You can even see, like in his lower part of his jacket, it says as if the wind is blowing his jacket off to one side here. So very realistic up here, but classical down here. Very nice work. This was his first big commission. This is what helped get him really established here in the United States, and this is what led to a lot of his other work, because this is what the public first saw.
Floor is covered in gravel. All right, perhaps his most well-known one is the Shaw Memorial. This is called a relief, a bas relief, and this gives you how big it is. Here's the video I shot out there.
Now, perhaps in my mind, the most well-known work that he's done is the Shaw Memorial. This is the information about it. And this is a recasting of it. Now this is about Robert Gould Shaw, Colonel in the Massachusetts 54 Regiment, the 1st Units of African Americans volunteered for the Civil War. Now in the video that they show you here, they talk about his combination of realism and classical or unreal. Look at how realistic the faces are, the positioning, the movements. And yet, superimposed over that is an unreal of an angel of either death or life going overhead. There's been some who've said it could be either one, depicting what's going to happen to them. He and quite a few of these men were died in an assault on a fort. But it is just a monumental work, and it is so realistic. I've seen another casting of it at in the Smithsonian, one of the art museums in Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. But just the bottom part, this right here, is about 4 feet off the ground. So tip of his sword is the height of my head, the top of my head. So this is a very, very, very large piece of work, and just extremely impressive. I'd heard about it before, and when I first saw it in the Smithsonian, I was very impressed. Travels with Phil will continue.
I've seen it in 3 places now, here at the Smithsonian in Washington and also at Boston Commons. Now here's some of the other sculptures that you see around the grounds. A cute turtle providing water for the pool. This is an angel with a tablet. These are some of the parts and pieces from the various sculpture works that he did. That one was for the Glory one. William Tecumseh Sherman, Civil War general. Robert Louis Stevenson, famous writer. This one is called Ceres. And this is Winged to Victory or Just Victory. The Puritan, as in the Pilgrims. And the Adams Memorial is outside. This was a headstone for a cemetery. Just amazing work. Again, he does such very good works. Now the grounds are also beautifully maintained. He worked here during the summers for many, many years and lived here for the last 7 years of his life. And just a really, really pretty place out here. It gets very cold and snowy in the wintertime. Here's a video.
All right, still at Saint-Gaudens. This is his house, Aspet. And this is what they call the small studio, I believe. Can't tell if this is the small studio or the new studio. In any case, it's very nice on the outside. Very wide open grounds. Wintertime, you could really do some tobogganing. And yes, they do have artwork out here on the grass.
Now, Ascony in the distance.
Lots of people I've seen picnicking.
And these are some of the artwork that you see out on the grounds. There's several of them in multiple spots. And they do a very nice job of just landscaping with flowers out there. I'm very fond of the flowers. I see a lot of spots, so some very nice work out here. Now, a while ago, I called it the small or the new or something like that studio. Well, its actual name is the Little Studio. So let's take a look inside there. And this is where he did most of his work when he was out here at the gardens. This is a Parthenon frieze at the top of the building. Very long. And this is inside the studio. Let's go to the video shot there.
This is Saint-Gaudens' little studio. Not little, maybe for the size work he does. Those of you who have done artwork, even if you're like me and you haven't done artwork, you've heard of North Light. Well, that's definitely the north side of the room, so that's where all the light comes in. So it's not direct sunlight, but it's definitely casting a light. So in the northern hemisphere, at least, for most artists that I know of, they prefer to use North Light. This looks like Calvin Coolidge, but this is another casting. This was originally on the tower at Madison Square Garden in New York City. This says it's a half-size copy. His only female nude. So it says. John C. Calhoun. They did a lot of work here. I love the cabinets down here. Very nice work. And Travels with Phil continues.
And let's look at some more of the sculptures here in the little studio. Horse frieze, very nice. Gods, goddesses, rocks, and coins and medallions. He designed a lot of coins. He designed a $10, a $20 gold piece for the United States currency, a bunch of other medallions. Did some of these in collaboration with President Teddy Roosevelt. Some of them were awards that he designed the award itself. So when you were given one, and if it came with a medallion, he might have designed it. So some of the Liberty coins, you can see his original artwork here. They have shelves that pull out to show big examples of the materials he was working with before they shrunk it down so it's easier to work with, easier to do. And this was some artwork that they had in a different part. They were showing other people's work. There you go, the Pan American Expedition. And finally, info on how to get there, or what to see from a distance. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up by clicking on the button below. You're welcome to leave comments below as long as the language is family friendly. And finally, if you'd like to see more of my videos, please subscribe to my channel by clicking the button over on the bottom right-hand corner. Thank you again for watching.